So, welcome to today's lesson. I want to do something on introduction to moles, and moles is a very simple concept that most of us complicate as if it is something difficult, but it is very simple. I know in real life we are used to things like dozen, tray, uh, crate, etc. This one, they are simply collection of stuff. So if somebody tells you something like dozen, this means something that is containing 12 items. Somebody tells you like a tray we know is having 30 items. A crate is having 24 items. So you see, when I say crate, I mean it is having 24 items in it. Dozen having 12 items in it. So if I say a mole, it is not something difficult. It also just means that there is just a number of items that are contained in one mole. So a mole is just anything that has a certain number of things, and majorly we call them the Avogadro's number. So maybe if I have one mole, then I'm expecting that any substance that is equivalent to one mole has 6.02 times 10 raised to power 23 items. So this is what we call the Avogadro's constant. We call it 602 hexillion. So anything that has 602 hexillion items is called a mole. So this, I've said, is called Avogadro's constant. Avogadro's constant. So when you want to define the term mole, you just say that this is the amount of a substance that contains the Avogadro's number of particles. Mole number, it's amount of anything, amount of substance that contains Avogadro's constant. Avogadro's constant. So mole is not something difficult. It is just amount of substance having a certain number of items in it. Then 1 mole of any substance is always equivalent to the relative atomic mass. I know when I introduce something like relative atomic mass, most of you may fear. So you also have to get used to the terms like relative atomic mass, relative formula mass. When I say relative atomic mass, I mean that this is the mass of an atom compared to the mass of 1 over 12 of carbon 12. So the relative atomic mass, it is simply the molar mass of an atom. And then when I talk of relative formula mass, RFM, I mean that this is the sum of SUM. This is the sum of the relative atomic masses of the atoms forming the compound. So like for example, if I give you the compound carbon 4 oxide, we can find its relative formula mass by doing what? by simply adding the mass of the atoms that are in it. So this one will be, carbon is always having atomic mass of 12 and oxygen is 16, but here there are 2 oxygen atoms. So you'll take 16 times 2. So if you do this, you will get 44. So if it is a compound, we refer to the molar mass as relative formula mass. If it is an atom, we refer to the molar mass as relative atomic mass. And you have to know for this lesson that 1 mole is always the same as the relative atomic mass of a particular atom, or 1 mole is equivalent to the relative formula mass of any compound. So if you are given the atomic mass of any element, you have to know that that particular mass is equivalent to 1 mole. So in my next video, I will show you how to relate the relative of formula mass and the number of moles. So take that home and wait for the second particular tutorial. Thank you.